Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the IDRiM podcast. Today's podcast is about IDRiM 2026 conference in Bali, and it very much is going to talk about the themes and what to expect of this conference. Please note that this episode was recorded on the 30th of March 2026, and information given during this podcast is correct at the time, and things may have changed since. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Welcome everyone. Welcome back to the IDRiM podcast. And this episode we will have a special episode when we talk all the things about IDRiM 2026, where now we have the organizing committees from Indonesia that will talk about how it will be look like in IDRiM 2026, as I guess many people from IDRiM societies and academic society in general also expect this conference to be big and nice because it will be held in Bali, Indonesia. So here with Cecilia and Vidya. So the first questions for both of you is, of course, introduce yourself and your role in IDRiM 2026, as well as can you introduce a bit first what is IDRiM 2026?
Okay, maybe I should start first. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Vidya Azzizi. I'm from Resilience Development Initiative, and I'm the local host co-chair, along with our partners at Institut Teknologi Bandung, or ITB, or Bandung Institute of Technology. We have Pak Zulfa Kriza and also Pak Saud Sagala as the local host chair. And we are expecting to hold the IDRiM conference in Bali this year. I bet it will be exciting because it's summer, it's Bali. What else do you want, Okay, next, Cecilia.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Cecilia. So in IDRiM, I'm mostly in charge in terms of the program conference. So basically the core of the conference here, like the oral presentation, special session, poster presentation, keynote speaker, and many other things. But we are not working alone. We working with a lot of people. Yeah, we collaborate with so many brilliant experts in our conference organizing committee and also scientific committee that from across the globe. Yeah, so right now we are in the current our current state right now is opening the call for the abstract and also the special session proposal. So I think that's for the introduction, and I think for the IDRiM 2026 from Vidya or me. Maybe I will share first. Yeah, maybe if Vidya have anything to add later. So basically, what is IDRiM 2026? Yeah, so IDRiM 2026, we have the title Resilient Cities in Multi-Hazard Crisis, Bridging Innovation, Implementation Science, and Grassroots Action. I think we already know like implementation science have been like the core of the IDRiM society, yeah, and also how we bridge the scientific knowledge and the grassroots actions and the local implementations, something like that. But especially for this year, we want to highlight the multi-hazard context because we've been through a lot of many hazards. As for 2025, I think it's the year of hydrometeorological disaster, especially like from like for Indonesia, yeah, and neighboring countries like that. Like in 2025, there was some of the like maybe from the news. It was called $50 billion weather disasters, like including devastating monsoon floods in India and also Pakistan. And also the latest disaster in Indonesia was Cyclone Senyap, the deadliest storm in 2025, I guess. And it's impacted the major impact is in Indonesia, in Southeast Asia. And it's also impacted the neighboring countries also, like Indonesia, Thailand, and Myanmar. But other than hydrometeorological disaster, we've in the past few years, I think we have witnessed globally the devastating 2023 Turkey earthquake and also Myanmar earthquake in last year, 2025, and the impact is cross-boundary, I guess, to Thailand and other countries, and also like heat wave in European and also Los Angeles wildfires and other hurricanes in America. So we've been through a lot of multi-hazard and how we can strengthen our multi-hazard preparedness in this complex challenge in disaster. And these aren't just isolated weather events, but they're also a systemic threats here and followed by like climate-related aspects, climate change, and also it's impacted our infrastructure, and as our cities become more dense and denser and also more vulnerable. So the need for integrated resilient cities is like the most critical. So we want to highlight resilient cities in multi-hazard crisis for this year. I think that's all. Maybe Vidya want to add, or that's all.
Okay, so aside from what is being talked about, which is what Cecilia talked previously about resilient cities and everything, we believe that it is more important to discuss about who is talking about that said problem, which is why our highlight is also the implementation science, bridging innovation, and also grassroots action. That's why we invite people from all over, aside from all over the world, and also from all over, like the government, the NGOs, the the campuses, like the professors, the students, everyone deserves to have a voice in, especially in this climate change and also disaster, because as you said, like leave no one behind. We want to be an inclusive conference that involve everyone, that to make sure that all the gaps are being connected, all the gaps are being addressed, which is why we want to be the first, I think, in Southeast Asia, if I'm not mistaken, and also among the biggest this year, hopefully, because right now we have like something along 400 participants, which is why we want to address all the gaps that is there, especially in overcoming disaster and also climate change. I think that's all from me.
Okay, thank you. So I have a number of things, but first of all, anyone who's interested in Cyclone Sayana, we've done on this podcast multiple episodes from different perspectives of why that happened. But coming back to the conference itself, and you said about who is talking about these issues. One thing I noted is the key speakers and the keynote speakers who you've selected this year. Can you give us a bit more information about who these keynote speakers are and what sector they are coming from?
Okay, yeah. So we already have some keynote speakers and already confirmed will become. So we have stellar lineup, that perfectly bridge science and also from government. So we not just see from the scientific perspective, but also from the policy and implementation in the ground. So from the government side, mostly from Indonesia for the government. Like there will be Dr. Medrilzam from Bapenas, who will discuss related to urban climate resilience under compound risk. And also there will be Dr. Supra Yoga Hadi, and he is like right now is the lead for the master plan for the recovery of Sumatra flood right now in Sumatra flood 2025, and he will dive into like related to the post-disaster recovery in Sumatra. Other than that, we also have from the government, Dr. Raditya Jati from Disaster Management, National Disaster Management Agency, Indonesia, and he is like the deputy for system and strategy. And he will share about the sustainable resilience. Sustainable resilience. I think that's all for the government side, and for the other, there will be Prof. Andrew Collins, and he will talk related to the vulnerability pathways, and also it's related to climate change adaptations and its resilience. Other than that, there will be also Dr. Iqbal Hussein from British Geological Survey. Will be discuss the lessons from the Turkey earthquake in 2023. Sorry. Also, there will be Professor Nibedita, from University of Leicester, and she will talk related to the avoiding deaths in cyclone-prone regions. Also, in the technical and implementation side is just as strong. We will have Professor Harpunti Pertiwi. She is from Institute Teknologi Sumatera, and her presentation will focus on early warning systems, and also it's related to people-centered early warning systems. Other than that, from ITB, from Institut Teknologi Bandung, there will be Professor Irwan Melano, and we'll discuss related to earthquake modeling, risk modeling, especially related to megatrust risk in Southeast Asia. Also, we will have Dr. Rozana Himas from UCL, and she will talk about disaster financing because her expert in that area. And of course, our Professor Norio Okada that will talk related to implementation science. I think that's all. The keynote speakers that already confirmed will be there. So yeah, I think that's it. Maybe from Vidya, is there any miss from what I said? Or that's all?
Basically, everyone that she says just now basically are the big guns in Indonesian government, especially in disaster and also climate mitigation and climate change. But aside from that, when we talk about representativeness and also inclusivity, we have everyone from IDRiM Society as well, which is by Professor Norio Okada, are being selected as the keynote speakers. Aside from his contribution, which is like, wow, he's like a god at some point. He's like a legend, correct? So, which is why we also invited IDRiM awardees from the previous year, which is Professor Nibedita Rebenet that she talked earlier, and also Hideyuki Shirosita, professor, is a doctor, yeah, from Japan as well. Which is why we are making sure that all the knowledge that was presented during the IDRiM last year are being presented again, like to promote continuous learning, one would say, especially from IDRiM Society, which has a lot of vision. Because when they start the IDRiM conference, they have some vision, right? And we are going to make sure that the vision are going to be continued all through the IDRiM 2026. Yeah, that's all I would like to add.
It sounds really exciting with the keynote speakers and what you've managed to achieve so far. One thing I noticed, which is slightly different to this year of IDRiM, which actually at first I was trying to get my head around, but I actually now understand where you're coming from, is the track system. So you've got multiple different what we would call themes in the UK, but tracks. Can you explain a bit more about what these different tracks are and actually the thinking behind some of these?
Okay, yeah. So for the tracks for this year, we will have many tracks, yeah, covering 10 distinct areas. At first, we plan to just like maybe 6 tracks, but after we talk with the scientific committee and also other experts, I think we can make the tracks broader. So for this year, we will have 10 distinct areas of research and also practice. Yeah, so there will be track 1 related to multi-hazard preparedness and also risk assessment. So it's basically this track aims to develop integrated approaches of implementation science to policy and also like the application of methods like remote sensing, scenario-based modeling, GeoAI, AI-driven modeling, that which focus on supporting the disaster mitigation and also adaptation measures. So that's basically multi-hazard preparedness in track 1. Other than that, we will have track 2 related to social protection and financing resilience in disaster risk management, because nowadays in this multi-hazard environment, financing disaster is getting crucial. So this track examines how financial mechanisms and social protection systems can complement the scientific approaches to disaster risk management. Some research scopes related to risk finance, also adaptive social protection, and also shock responsive social protections. And other than that, like data-driven risk assessment to strengthen the adaptation process. For track 3, we will have resilient infrastructure and nature-based solutions. So basically how infrastructure, this track examines how resilient infrastructure and natural ecosystem can be strategically designed to strengthen climate resilience in urban areas. So the research scopes like how we can upscale resilient infrastructure and NBS, NBS for climate resilient cities, and other than that. Track 4 related to the Build Back Better, Respond, Recovery, and Reconstruction. And this is like one of the core track for this year conference, because like what I said before, Indonesia just impacted from Cyclone Senyap, Sumatra flood, and this will be an important track to share lesson learned from across the globe, how post-disaster recovery, how the sustainable and also resilient post-disaster rehabilitation reconstruction can be implemented. I think you can see more of these tracks in the website, IDRiM2026.com. But yeah, our tracks cover many aspects in the cities, like multi-hazard preparedness, social, financing, urban community resilience, also related to tourism, because we are in Bali, and it's like the tourism hub in Indonesia. So we have these track 6 related to tourism, but also we add a small island. So it's not just like limited to what we know as cities, but it also reach like the cities, urban, rural, also coastal can be submitted in this IDRiM conference. Track 7 related to implementation science. There will also track related to risk communication, early warning, and also systemic and next generation disaster risk. This is basically related to NATEC, disaster prevention and preparedness, also decision support system for urban resilience, and also the utilization like digital twins, AI for crisis decision making, and so on. So I think that's all. But maybe if some people, for those who work across multiple disciplines and or explores emerging these areas, other than what mentioned in the track 1 to track 10, we have our open track to ensure no innovative idea is left behind. So it's like a comprehensive tracks this year. I think that's all from me.
Okay, that's thank you for the answer. It's like it's interesting. You bring, in some ways, it's you try to make it focus in the some key areas like the resiliency and multi-hazards implementation science, of course, but also broaden within those key areas by having these tracks and all tracks, 10 tracks, I believe, right? And now having interesting keynote speakers, having an opportunity to people to see how it delves towards many different areas, given this year's keynote and the central themes, make me wonders actually if you give me numbers here. So, but how many submissions already there in until up to right now? And basically based on those 10 tracks, it's like which one is actually the most popular one people submit. This make us wonder. So it's basically, oh, okay, that we know that the conference will be shaped to that particular themes. And is there any also in the reverse? Is there any tracks that's perhaps less popular, or maybe the least submission in there? If you can just give me rough numbers on that.
So currently we have, like, I just checked this morning, so literally this is fresh from the oven. We have 316 application for abstract and poster, and also something along 20 sessions proposal. I don't really remember the breakdown. Cecilia will explain more, but we understand that people are least interested in the tourism sector. I have no idea. Perhaps maybe because they want to go to Bali just for vacation instead of researching the tourism. I don't know. I think we can explore the discussion later. But yeah, it's like the one that is least that has the least participant. So Cecilia will break down everything.
Okay, so for the latest number that Vidya mentioned before, we haven't really calculate each track, but we have calculate from, I think this is from, I think it's from previous week. Yeah, so the most abstract submission is in the track 1. So it's related to multi-hazard preparedness and also multi-hazard preparedness and risk assessment. I think because that's the more general topic, and most of the people, I think not just in IDRiM, but I saw in other conference related to multi-hazard preparedness, risk assessment, something like that is like the most people will be submit their abstract in that topic. But other than track 1, there are also track 5 related to urban community resilience. Track 5, urban community resilience, and also track 7 related to implementation science and sustainable resilience, implementation science for sustainable resilience. Other than that, the list number, I think it's track 6, related to tourism. I think it's because not many people talk about the relation of disaster risk with the tourism, but I think it will be an interesting track to explore this area. Yeah, maybe we will get more novelties from this. Other than that, I think that's it.
Wow, it sounds
But
like
also, I may add that, but also interestingly, track 1 and track 5 also has the most members of scientific committee. So along with a lot of abstract, we have a lot of researcher that is going to review the abstract, are going to be the panelists and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see the discussion along that track 1 and track 5, and also other tracks actually. But yeah, those are the most people. Those are the most attractive ones.
Yeah, and already, numbers at 316, abstracts, 20 sessions, and I know there's more coming. I haven't even put mine in yet, and I know that I'm working on 3 special sessions with other people as well, so it's still going to be quite a lot coming in over the next couple of days.
Yeah, there you go. So you will have 3 more from my colleague here. It's basically, and the one that I submitted is basically you didn't discuss basically because I submitted the track 10. I guess it's a bit on the middle, not too popular, not too less popular there. Now, looking at these submissions and the tracks, like make me wonders as Mark here as well as in the YSS committee, and it's YSS Young Scientist Session. It's basically IDRiM's forte, where we try to distinguish the society from many other societies in disaster risk management, where we try to grow the early career researchers as well through a conference like this. Now, make me wonders as well. Can you also give us a bit enlightenment on I'm not sure it's reflected in your data or not. It's how many YSS actually submitted already, or there is some more that will come. Then compared to many other submissions, I guess many senior researchers already submitted their contributions.
Sorry, I'm still muted. Too excited to talk. Actually, we have to confess that we have not checked each submission whether they apply for the YSS Young Scientist or not, because actually we are still it's going to be tracked when they are paying or confirming whether their abstract is accepted or not, and we are still in the process of reviewing. So we will get back to that as soon as possible. But yeah, I believe that YSS is very important because I was once a young scientist as well. I graduated my PhD like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So basically, I'm still like in the young-ish. But I wish that there were more conference that has in an inspiring session where I can network with other young aspiring scientists and also maybe not scientists, because when I check the submission, some of them are not even scientists. They don't have any formal education in climate change, in disaster, but they are still very eager to learn. And what better place is there aside from the young scientist session, right?
Okay, so I just check in the dashboard. So it's actually 104 young scientist session, young scientist researcher, sorry, that already submitted the abstract. So it's already a large number, yeah, I guess.
I can see Harris grinning because he knows when we get a high number, that usually means more workload for myself. So
Correct.
yeah, so 104, that will definitely break. I know that will definitely break the record for the most young researchers we've ever had at an IDRiM conference. The previous record was either India or Colombia, and that was in the 80s. So, and that was always an aim to get over 100 at some point. So that is going to be fantastic. And obviously, those who we're not sure yet, we have a mechanism which we will determine once submissions are closed on who is and who isn't via the committee itself with the local hosts. Harris?
So it's basically it's nice to hear that given I think it's almost a third of the submissions actually come from the young scientists, and I guess most of them is oral, right? Or most of them actually in posters. I'm not sure how many oral and posters in this, but well, I mean, like we can know later after after the committees actually establish the final programs. Look at these tracks basically and the programs that you have. You have a lot of tracks and a lot of submissions. Then how can you guide us through how the conference will look like day by day? Because I know that this basically start from 5 of September to 9. Will be many parallel tracks, or you will be put it into a big CS sessions where a lot of participants in there. Can you give us some light in here?
Okay, so actually we haven't finalized the program, but I think we can give like a sneak peek. And of course, this is still tentative. We still in talk with the Poltek Bali, Polytechnic Tourism Bali. Yeah. So after we talk with them and we can confirm the rooms and everything, I think we can share more about that. But to give like the initial of the program, so from 5 to 6 September, so it's Saturday and Sunday, we plan to help like the site event or field trip. So the field trip and site event will be in 5 to 6 September. I think last year like that too, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So the main conference day will be in 7 to 9 September from Monday to Wednesday. And in the morning, we will have mostly plenary sessions. So all of the participants can watch and can watch the session. So like in September 7, we plan to held the keynote plenary session for Dr. Medrozam and Andrew Collins, and it's related to urban climate resilience. After that, we will have parallel special sessions. And because we expect about 20 special sessions, I guess, so for now, we break into two there will be parallel special sessions in 7 September and also September 8th. So I think we will use like about 10 rooms each day for special sessions. But yeah, we still in talk with Poltek Bali, Polytechnic Tourism Bali on how we can arrange this. But yeah, for special sessions, I think we will use classroom and maybe a bigger room, a little bit bigger than classroom for like maybe a bigger a session that will have bigger participants. After that, poster presentation, we plan to integrate it with the, we also plan there will be like exhibition booth, so we'll integrate that. But yeah, we still arrange it with Poltek Bali, which place is suitable for poster presentations. So it will be in lunch break. After that, in September 7, there will be keynote plenary session, and also after that, parallel oral presentation, special sessions, and yeah, something like that. I think across from 7 to 9 September will be like that, like keynote plenary session and parallel special sessions in the morning. And after that, we will have another keynote and also the parallel oral presentation. So for now, oral presentation is placed in afternoon. Yeah, I think that's all. And there will be, we plan to hold like cultural performance too in 7 September. And also the conference dinner in 7 September. I think that's all. And in 9 September, we plan to hold a special session, especially related to Sumatra flood. This will be a platform to share a lesson learned from the from that catastrophic disaster, cyclone Senyar and its impact to Sumatra. But we plan not to just discuss what happened in Indonesia, but also the comparative study and lesson learned from the other countries like Philippines and also other regions that also prone to cyclone. So we can have more broader perspective on and lesson learned from cyclone. Other than that, there will be award ceremony and closing ceremony in 9 September. So I think that's what I can share for now. It's not finalized yet, and we will share it later if we already fix it with Poltek Bali.
So regarding the awards, I would like to add something because IDRiM Society and also IDRiM Conference was full of a lot of inspiring people, especially for young scientists as well, right? So we have recently confirmed that we will have a special session for the late Professor Douglas Patton. He was the member of IDRiM Society who passed away in 2023, and he has left a lot of legacy that is waiting to be shared for a lot of people. And we are aiming to have what would you say it, like Professor Douglas Patton Distinguished Researcher Lifetime Legacy Award. I know it's long, but basically it's to celebrate his life and also what the IDRiM Society has done for the last 20 years or so, especially in the disaster and also climate risk management for all the world to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, I was in Samos when he posthumously won his award, and it was quite a moving experience to see that his work is still having an impact. About 3 or 4 years after his sad passing. And coming back to the conference itself, there's still a few things I think people might want to know. So the first one is about the registration fee itself. How much is it going to be this year? 'Cause for iDream, it fluctuates quite a lot depending on what the hosts require, to organize these big events.
So when we are talking about Bali in Indonesia, we are notoriously famous for being cheap. So in the spectrum of all the places that iDream Society has held iDream conference before, I think Bali is like on the cheaper side of things. And to make sure that everyone can participate in this conference, we have multiple layers of registration fee. So if you came from low middle income countries, that would mean you can pay less, and especially in Indonesia where you are a local participant, and we want to encourage people from the village, and also people that has like little to no access to conference and education. We want to provide chance for them to participate, which is why we provide even lower prices for Indonesian participants. And luckily, if you came from the one like richer countries, you can like contribute more, and to make sure that we have this inclusivity. So for the prices itself, it's going to be different, depends on where you came from, and depends on whether you are iDream members or not. And also you can definitely register if you are not the member of iDream Society. And the membership fee is not like that expensive. It is $20 for full delegates. And then even cheaper if you are in Indonesia. And also for the international participant, it's going to be $30 to $50 for the iDream Society. But also for the regular and early bird. So we have this early bird to make sure that people register early, and we have to make sure that there's no like influx of late participants, because the defining quality of academia all over the world is we like to push the deadline, right? I bet that we will have like some 50 or plus another abstract submission for the next 2 days, hopefully. And to make sure that people are not registering late, we have special price for the early bird, ranging from $50 if you are a student in low middle income country, and also up to $300 if you were a full delegate from international participant. Yeah, basically it's still like in the cheaper side of things. If you are looking back, like if you were willing enough to check all the iDream conference all throughout the year, we are still like offering the best view, the best panels and everything. Sorry, this kind of sounds so cocky, but I'm kind of proud of what we have achieved so far.
That's basically refreshing to hear. That's basically the conference this year is try to be affordable for many people. It's not only attracting many scientific minds outside, but also as well as the people who working in the areas. Which is like admirable that many people. What the suggestions that we had over the years in iDRiM is basically, please try to involve local peoples, and like this conference try to do that this year, which is very nice to hear. As well as I am Indonesian, so I'm not sure which part of the fees that I will be, but we can talk about that later. And now it's like looking at the conference, I think like one thing that we missed talking here about all the tracks, the teams and the speakers. You also offered, I think, the first in iDRiM conference, many tons of publications after the conference. So looks like we have a lot of publishers to choose to, the one who submitted the contributions. And can you tell us more on this, about how the people can continue to publish in these 5 papers or 5 publications that has been prepared, whether it will be selected by the scientific committee or people can just choose any publications they want to continue?
Okay, some people might ask, why do we provide so many options? Because we believe that in the academia we have publish or perish, and we would like to have options for everyone. If you are just like if you need it just for the conference, so you do not need to submit anywhere to the journal or to the conference series, to the proceeding of the conference as well. So you can just be there, chill, present, and have fun. It's an option. But if you do want to publish, we have a lot of options to choose from. The first one is for the proceeding. We are currently collaborating with IOP Conference Series, Earth and Environmental Science, and it has quite an affordable cost. I think somewhere around $20 just for the proceeding. And also we have the free journal if you would like, but it's Indonesian journal. We are collaborating with Universitas Gadjah Mada, one of the oldest institution in Indonesia. It's free, so you can just try to submit it. The title of the journal is Journal of the Civil Engineering Forum. So I imagine this would be interesting for someone who is applying in the technical side of it, in the geological hazard or the climatology, and we want to talk about the civil engineering side of it. Aside from that, we also have other options. There is Scopus Index, and also in Indonesia we have Sinta. It's like local index for the publications. It's from three other journals, which the first one is IDRiM Journal, our own in-house journal. It's Scopus Index, and it's the official journal of the International Society for Integrated Disaster Risk Management. So I imagine this would be one of the, if you are like OG IDRiM Society member, or IDRiM, you have been participating in the IDRiM conference for so long, I imagine you would like to have something to be submitted in this IDRiM journal. And also for the rest of it, there's International Journal of Disaster Risk Reduction. It's key one index, SEIE, and also Scopus Index Journal. It has like registration fee, something along like $100 or plus. I don't really remember, and you have to check it later. But it's like the most expensive out of every journal, and it's like the most high quality as well. And also the last one is Forum Geography Journal. Is It's in collaboration with another university in Indonesia. It's also Q1 Scopus Index Journal. It's quite affordable, one would think, yeah. But for the who will review it, because this publication is optional, so the committee from each journal will review it, and we do encourage people to submit publication to the journal, also proceeding. It is not necessary. But we of course like provide some special special issue like for some of it, and you can check like the details in our website, and also our social media. Don't forget to follow it. Yeah.
I think I will add a bit related to the publication. So for the full paper submission, we will open it after the participants already notified after the announcement of the acceptance of the abstracts. Yeah, after that, the participants until the deadline to, let me see, September 23, they can submit their full paper submission. The deadline is 23 September. After that, we in the scientific committee of the IDRiM 2026 will review it, and after that we will see which paper is can be published in which publisher or something like that. So yeah, so for the deadline is 23 September after the notification of the acceptance of the abstracts. I think that's all I can add.
Yeah, thank you. And when it comes for the IDRiM journal, usually full submission for that is a lot later. So that's usually around December, January of following the conference. So if you've missed your opportunity in some of the others, the IDRiM journal is still open quite a bit later on. So we've talked a lot about the conference, the more formal aspect of the conference, but with any conference, there's definitely an informal side of it. So Bali, we all have images of Bali, beautiful images of Bali. can you tell us a bit more about what Bali is like and what we can expect when we get down on the ground in September?
So, as I mentioned earlier, Bali is like a marketing on itself, right? Because in the Indonesia, we call it the island of gods or the goddesses, which because it's such a beautiful place where it has everything. Aside from the view, they unfortunately do have a lot of disaster, and we can like practice what we have learned before. And because they have everything from the volcanic risk, like the biggest mountain there called Mount Agung, it's quite a challenge previously when we were discussing about the disaster risk management there. It's going to be very interesting to see how the people over there integrated, overcome the disaster. And also they have tsunami risk. Recently, they do have flooding as well, landslide, coastal erosion, and everything. But we are hoping that it won't happen when we are there. So, because Bali itself is a world-class tourism hub, it's a global synergy symbol. Basically, Bali is more famous than Indonesia, one would say, and it was the host of a lot of events throughout the years, like the G20 summit in 2022, and they actually built a green toll road there in Bali, and I think it will be interesting to see how it can play a part in the resilient infrastructure, especially. And then also the World Water Forum, and also basically Bali has proven itself that they have resilient infrastructure, and also they are the perfect place to create an atmosphere for high-level international collaboration. The beaches as well, the food, you should try everything, and it's nothing that's not good there in Bali. And also, they provide the perfect backdrop to discuss how tourism can change a place. And also, still, they are trying to become resilient in their own ways. And we can observe like traditional philosophy of Bali. We call it Trihita Karana. It's like the harmony between humans, nature, and the divine. Because Bali is such, aside from the beautiful place, they are also a highly spiritual place, and the gods are still there. You can like feel the presence there. And also, how can we incorporate that element into the disaster management framework? It's basically it's an experience of itself. If you've never been, I really suggest you to go there. Aside from the tourism, but also for the knowledge that how we can apply the tourism, and also the define philosophy, and also the how it comes together in the modern ecosystem that we have right now. Cecilia, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's all. So yeah, come to Bali.
Oh yeah, wait. I would like to share some fun facts that actually
Okay.
some people already reach out to us that they want to have like a class trip, like a lab trip, that they want to sightsee all over the Bali, like whether it's villages or infrastructure, we can help to accommodate. But please let us know, because everyone I believe will be going after different experience in Bali, and they have everything. As long as you talk to us, we can help you.
Yeah, just to add to all the nice information that you have, is basically Bali has been the host of the previous UN global platforms, which is 4 years ago. Just basically Bali has experience to holding a disaster risk management events, and now I guess many of the participants also remember that event fondly, and that's why like it would be nice to seeing them again in Bali. And as well as you mentioned that the Bali and how it's actually can also be a good place to discuss about disaster risk management. Now let's focus on selling Bali more, perhaps, and like because we didn't actually discuss about the events, because you both introduced yourself as part of the Resilience Development Initiative in Bandung Institute of Technology, which is in Bandung, but the conference in Bali. And it's basically the event will be in the as you mentioned several times during your explanations, is the Tourism Polytechnic of Bali, right? And where is actually this event, this place located? Is it close to many beaches? Because like Bali is famous for the beaches, or which are actually tourism areas that people can go from that area? And perhaps last year we also discussed about the Greek foods. about how about foods in Bali? Whether it's like it's nice for people to come and get a heavenly taste of Indonesia there, or something more that we can discuss on that.
It's going to be located in Nusa Dua. It's like the southern part of Bali. It used to be, I think now it's still like the exclusive resort part of it, but it's still connected with the highway that I just mentioned earlier to the rest of Bali. And actually, Cecilia has been to Bali like far more times than I, and she even has like relatives living there. So I think she would have a lot of things to share.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe for Bali, last time, yeah, it's not that often too, yeah. I went to Bali, but yeah, for the Poltek per Bali, like what Vidya mentioned before, it's located in, I think, it's in Kota Selatan, Kabupaten Badung, in Badung district, and yeah, it's in Nusa Dua area, I guess. Yeah, it's in Nusa Dua area, so it's still accessible to reach this place. And as for the Poltek per Bali, yeah, I think the place is really beautiful for Poltek per Bali. Yeah, so the architecture is still have the local and cultural context in there, unlike other university construction. So it's really a nice place. You can search in Google too, and yeah, and I think for Poltek per Bali, even though it's tourism, polytechnic tourism, but it's also plays fundamental and also a very strategic role for this event, since Bali's economy and also identity are really close tied to tourism. So Poltek provides really essential links to the hospitality industry and also related to the Ministry of Tourism in Indonesia. So a sector that is often the most vulnerable during disaster, but also the most capable of driving the recovery. And through them, we can learn how to integrate disaster education into the tourism experience. So that's Poltek per Bali. I think. Yeah, I think that's all what I can say, what I can share related to Poltek.
Yeah, if I might add to answer the question, is it close to anywhere? Like it's very close to the airport, just like 20 minutes, 30 minutes ride. So if you're like a busybody that needs to go somewhere after the presentation, you can just go directly because it's like the quieter place of Bali. So if you're worried about traffic jam, which is commonly occurred in Indonesia, don't worry about that because it's quite, I won't say safe, but if you have like only 1 hour to get from the venue to the airport, that would be still fine. And I think it would be interesting to say that it has one of the most beautiful beaches, and also the food is quite good over there. Like, don't worry about that. If no matter what your diet is, whether you're a Muslim, so you have to eat halal food, or you're a vegetarian, or you just like you can eat anything, you can find everything over there. And one would say that it's close to a lot of, because it's like the center of the MICE or the meeting convention and also exhibition center, there would be a lot of hotels. And we will provide like the hotels that you can stay in when you are going to attend the conference. And we will like provide, whether like you're a student that has like limited budget, we can provide some hostels for you. And also up to like, if you really want to chill like in the 5-star resort, there's also an option for everyone, because as I said earlier, we want to be inclusive, whether you are just like professors going to retire comfortably or just like struggling students, you will find a place in Bali and also in the conference.
Thank you, and thanks for making me hungry. It's early in the morning still here, and I have not had anything to eat. And I know that me, Harris, and I have already booked our accommodation. I think. Yeah. Well, I told you where we should be staying. But yeah, so thank you for giving, that description of Bali, and I'm very much looking forward to visiting Bali and Indonesia more generally. Um, and also just to note for people as well is that, as you mentioned, how close it is, to the airport. For those who've been to Bali, just to say that we are to the south of the airport, which is a little bit more quieter than the city that's up to the north of the airport as well. So it is definitely a lot more relaxed from what I can gather. Harris, any last questions?
Yeah. So it's basically it's now it's coming to last. We already explored how interesting it is from the academic point of view, and it's basically all the discussion there will be exciting, not only for the researchers to come down, and as well as the young scientists, young researchers that try to explore their field in disaster risk management next time, but as well as the place where all this event will go, as beautiful as Bali is, and how it's also platforming the people not only for their tourisms and their lasers, but also as well as it's become again open space laboratory for people to also to want to uh, learn about the disasters from any other many risk that's actually threatening Bali. Now, as the last questions, what is actually the message you want to share to the people so the people can have the final decisions that okay, I will go. Can you share any both of you or any, one of you? It's up to you. The message, the welcoming message that please come here or anything. So it's basically people that okay, I will go. As the last questions.
So I think, yeah, as for me, this is because this is like different from previous IDRiM. This is like the first IDRiM that will be held in Southeast Asia, and it's in Indonesia, and you will have more connection, global connection in Asia Pacific and also in the regions. Yeah, we can have more lesson learned from Southeast Asia, and it will be a really great opportunity to meet many amazing experts and also academia, even policymakers in the field. Yeah, I saw so many submissions, not just from academia, but also from the government side. And it's not just from Indonesia, but also from other countries too. So it's really fascinating. It's like from the Japan, the UK, Australia, Europe, also from like India and many other countries. So this is like, I don't know if maybe next year or next year there will be another IDRiM conference in Southeast Asia. So let's not miss this opportunity to meet many amazing academia and Thai researchers in the field. And as we know, like Indonesia and also Philippines and other neighboring countries in Southeast Asia is like one of the countries that has the highest risk in terms of disaster globally. So we can learn a lot from them. We can learn from the local communities, from the grassroots levels. Yeah, and we can have many perspective and experience here. And as we currently developing and finalizing the program, there will be more exciting program. Like we plan to have like a session related to documentary film, and it will be held by Professor Norio Okada and other interesting sessions here. Like there are some submissions that have world cafes formats and also simulation games, workshops, roundtables. So it's there will be many interesting sessions to join here. So yeah, I think that's it from me. So let's go to Bali and meet these amazing experts and academia in the fields. I think that's all from me.
So I might be biased because I've been working on this conference since last year, I think from August or July. And I believe it's like almost a year for we have prepared for this. Like there will be a lot of things to come, and we are still preparing for that. And but we have put a lot of effort in this, and I believe that this is like among the most inclusive and also most interesting, one would say, because we have everything for everyone, whether you're an academia or you are just like a curious student or you're a professional that wants to bridge the reality of what you're facing and we would like to ask the academia to step down from their ivory tower. We have everything for everyone right here. And being what I realized the most, like after being the part of this conference for so long, like not so long, just like almost this whole year, it's I realized that this is like more than just a conference. I'm being a part of a legacy because people that has been doing the IDRiM conference or the IDRiM Society has been doing this for a long time, and we would not get that kind of knowledge and also experience or the wisdom that they have accumulated over the years just everywhere. So yeah, instead of just like a conference, I would say that this is like an experience in itself, aside from the Bali and also the knowledge, because what we have to acknowledge, like aside from the places, it's the who, the people that was participating that is going to be the highlight. And I believe that we have a lot of great minds that are waiting to share their knowledge and also wisdom in this conference, in this legacy event. Yeah.
Sounds excellent. I love that quote you said about academia to step down from their ivory tower. I like that because that shows that you really are pushing on the dissemination and the communication part of this, and it's something that I think as academics we need to do better at. So I think I really, really like that. Thank you both for joining us today. I'm really looking forward to the conference in Bali in September, and I'd invite all our listeners to, if you can, attend the conference because it's going to be a very American word. It's going to be awesome in terms of, seeing so many old faces, but a lot of new faces who, are trying to make their name in this field. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.